Elite Facts presents 12 Creepy Vintage Medical Photos. Number 12. Patients at mental institutions were restrained with wet blankets. Like something out of an ancient Egyptian ritual book, this is a sight that can't help but remind you of mummies, the way they all lay perfectly still and barely resemble the shape of a human body. It's as if they're all recovering from donating their blood to vampires in Transylvania.
I'm here to suck your blood. Now let me wrap you in toilet paper.
Number 11. Protective gear for a radiology nurse, circa 1918. We're not sure if the bucket-shaped head cover is a fashion statement for scientists back then, or if it actually makes a difference in protecting the head from radiation. Maybe this outfit was borrowed from the local butcher? We can't help but feel old Holocaust vibes with this costume. Number 10. Early treatment of rickets involved tanning during the winter months, circa 1925.
Hey bro, your tan is coming through nice, dude.
Oh yeah? Hey, thanks little bro. We're gonna be picking up all the chicks at the beaches as soon as we get out of this joint.
Number 9. Dr. Louis Sire treating scoliosis, checking the curvature of the spine. Checking the curvature, you say? Do her breasts need to be in some sort of symmetrical balance with the back? I guess that makes sense if you're Dr. Pervy McPervison. This contraption he's using here is essentially just a modified sex swing. At least that's our guess. Couldn't really be sure unless we found a copy of the prescription. Number 8. Dr. Clark's spinal apparatus circa 1878, one of the most bizarre and least practical treatments for scoliosis. If the idea is to humiliate the disease to death, we're guessing that scoliosis had a 100% success rate back in the 1800s. This looks like some terrible amalgamation of circus props and leftover farm equipment. It looks like there might be a back brace on this contraption, but there doesn't appear to be any possible way to sit down while it's attached. The Flintstones are not impressed. Number 7. Physiotherapy used to be hands-off, seen here at Walter Reed, circa 1920. Are you starting to see a little bit of a pattern here when it comes to any kind of therapy from the 1800s to early 1900s? And that pattern is either let nature run its course or use electricity. Well, these guys look like they have found themselves stuck inside the fridge, and now they have to sit and think about what they've done. Mom doesn't like it when you leave the fridge open all day, boys. Number 6. Surgery wasn't always performed under anesthesia. This one, using ether, circa 1855, was a step in the right direction. When doctors started using the good stuff, their rapport with the general public started to go way up. This photo of a man getting his legs sawed off is a good example of why, although we're positive that while his brain is bouncing on other planets, he can still feel and hear the vibrations of that terribly inadequate saw going through his bone. It certainly doesn't help that they decided to perform the surgery on a box that can double as a coffin. Number 5. European birthing chair, circa 1750. And it's adjustable! The Europeans truly loved sitting down, so much so that they invented a way to just sit and squat your baby out. Yeah, why should your pregnancy get in the way of finishing your favorite book, right? Let gravity do most of the work anyway. Junior's gonna spend most of his life falling on the floor anyway. Number 4. We hope this prosthetic leg, circa 1890, served her well. This shiny metal prosthetic I'm sure got a lot of use back in the day. Plenty of sexism and rotten children that could use a good reminder that mom means business and she only needs one leg to put down the law. Number 3. This prosthetic hand, circa 1800, suggests many advancements in 90 years. Essentially, prosthetics were just fancy sculptures back in the early 1800s. While nice to look at, they provided zero comfort or functionality. In fact, way back then you probably could have just hired the best woodcarver in your town and they could have provided you a decent prosthetic. Number 2. Stacking up polio sufferers in a multi-person iron lung, circa 1950. An iron lung was essentially the closest thing you could get to being an astronaut when you were a kid. The nurse certainly enjoyed her job, like taking care of the plants at the hospital. They just need some loving and a little watering every now and then, and they'll turn out just fine. Number 1. The cure that may have caused never-ending toothaches, circa 1885. Heroin. It's nice, isn't it? But cocaine, that's where it was really at for the late 1800s. You got a headache? No problem. Here's some coke. Got a bad stomach cramp? Coke it is. Your kid has a toothache? Let me think. Coke! Yeah! Cocaine drops will make that disappear. After all that cocaine, it's also good to wash it all down at the soda fountain with that classic cocaine cola dispensed at the pharmacy. Subscribe for more.